Hi there. If you own an MT2 gimbal by Hohem, or you're thinking of buying a Hohem iSteady MT2 gimbal, or possibly their M6 gimbal, you really need to watch this video because I've got some important information for you that's going to come in handy. Keep watching because you're watching Blue Collar Guy. Okay, we're back. So I bought a Hohem MT2 iSteady gimbal in I think it was November. I took it out to the Santa Claus parade. I also used it to balance the DJI Pocket 3, the Osmo Pocket 3, which is what I'm filming this with right now. I currently have the active track on, which I love. And I really enjoyed the features on the Hohem gimbal. The AI tracking, I loved all of it. It was great. But I did run into a serious issue with the gimbal. I got what they call an error 1 message. And I tried to do a software update, but to no avail. I'm going to show you a clip in which I had to send to Hohem to their support department. So I'm going to show you that quick clip. I apologize for the quality of the video, but it wasn't supposed to be for this. It was just you know, cell phone video. I believe I did shoot it in 4K, so I suppose that's okay. But I didn't have all the lighting and things like that. It was just like a spur of the moment type of thing. So forgive the quality of it, but it will at least let you know the issue that I was having with the gimbal. So here's a clip of the video, and I'm going to go to that right now. The error code on the gimbal says error 1. Gimbal does not function. Nothing on the joystick. Click on the trigger, nothing. No response. The AI is turned on, so I got nothing on there. I can spin it around, nothing. It's like it just totally died. So, can you help me with this problem? Okay, so that's the video. Forgive the audio and everything. It was just the stuff off the phone. So there was a serious issue with the gimbal. It started acting up very strange when I put, I think it was, I tried to put my GoPro Max on it, and it just started acting weird after I balanced it. I didn't do anything unusual to it. I wasn't like hard on it or abusive towards it or anything like that. I had only used it, I think, 3 or 4 times. That was it. And then this error message came up. It was called error 1. Whenever you have, just so you know, if you have an error 3 message come up on your Hohem iSteady MT2 gimbal, or I believe the M6 is probably the same error codes, it means that things are not balanced properly and that you have to rebalance whatever you're doing. It's not balanced. So an error 3 message isn't that big of a deal. Just go back to rebalancing your gimbal, start it up, everything should be fine. An error 1 message is a lot more serious. So I tried to do a software update for the gimbal, and I couldn't get it to update. It just wouldn't update. I even started switching the Bluetooth channels. By the way, if you want to change the Bluetooth channel on your gimbal, on your Hohem iSteady MT2 gimbal or your M6, you'll lift up the little lever on the side and you'll hit the function or the M button above it. You do that simultaneously, and the little X will come on where the Bluetooth is on the screen, and then it will switch to a different Bluetooth channel. And sometimes that can help you when you're doing a software update, because maybe things aren't communicating properly with your phone or that sort of thing. The other reason why they have different Bluetooth channels is if you have more than one gimbal and you want to isolate one from another one. So let's say you have 2 or 3 of these gimbals, if you're feeling that rich, and you don't want them all to connect with your phone at the same time because things can get confusing. You can separate them because it'll say -1, -2, -3, -4, all the way up to 9. So I guess technically you could have 9 of these gimbals all on different Bluetooth sub-channels, I guess, and then they could communicate with one another. So that wasn't the issue though. So I contacted Hohem through their support through email, and they got back to me right away. So I have to give credit to Hohem for they have very good customer support. They emailed me back right away. They said, you know, we're sorry that you're having an issue, you know, and they wanted to know some information about the gimbal. First, they wanted to know, you know, where I got it from. They wanted me to scan the QR code, which gives them the serial number. So you'll see a little QR code symbol on one of the gimbal arms, right where you put the wherever you're balancing. You'll see it on there, and it's quite visible. And on there in small print, it will have the serial number for your particular gimbal. So if you need to know where that is, it's on the gimbal itself, which is really nice in case, you know, some people throw away the, you know, booklets and things like that. They lose them. So they've actually put it on the gimbal itself. Very smart that they did that. That's very good that they did that. So anyways, I got a hold of them. I told them what the problem was with the Error 1, and I told them I couldn't get the software update to happen. It kept saying failure, failure, failure. They told me that it's more than likely a wire that have come loose or disconnected in one of the motors. So perhaps when I was balancing out the GoPro that I was putting on it, one of the wires came loose. It's not my fault. It's something internal, that maybe it was too tight or it wasn't in the right position when it was assembled, and it came loose. Now the issue is that there wasn't anything that they could do. So they told me to just put it back in its box. I bought it through Amazon, which makes the return a lot easier. I took it back to the post office, sent it back, and they're currently processing my refund on the gimbal. Kind of a sad thing, you know. On the positive note, I have 2 gimbals, so I had another gimbal with tracking on it, which is nice. So I have this one too. Now I was going to put another order in for another Hohem iSteady2 MT2 gimbal. I was just going to get another one and go that route. And I was even thinking, well, maybe I should just get one for the phone instead, you know, because that was the main reason why I wanted that gimbal to begin with. The other features on it weren't all that important to me, so I thought, well, maybe I'll just get the M6. So something told me, you know, read the review, see if anybody else has had issues with this gimbal or the other gimbals. And to my surprise, I found that other people are experiencing similar failures with the gimbal. It's not working, the motors are overheating, other problems. And when I see stuff like that, it tells me, well, if you order another one, you may just have a problem down the road. Maybe they haven't worked all the bugs out of it yet. So now they may have pushed this particular product to market too quickly. And this happens whenever there's anything new and exciting on the electronics. Sometimes they want to get it to market, and certain things they either didn't think of or they weren't expecting. Maybe they misjudged the capacity of the motors, that sort of thing. And something told me not to reorder it, so I decided not to. It wasn't an easy decision because I really did enjoy the concept of it, and nobody else has done this with their gimbals. Now some of them have software, things like that. I really looked for another name brand with a similar feature, could not find one. Could not find one with separate AI tracking. So they've done a really good job on their, hey, this is what the market needs. The execution hasn't gone so well, though. I know that I'm not the only person that has had this issue. To Hohem's credit, though, I think they know that there might be a problem, and they are giving full customer support. So, when I phone them, because I also phone them, they answered the phone. I didn't just get, a machine or whatever, or I didn't get sloughed off at all. They answered their phone, they answered their emails, they gave me decent customer support, and the guy even said, 28 days, you have a month with Amazon to return it. And he didn't say, oh, this is your fault, or maybe you did this wrong or that wrong. There was no judgment. It was just, okay, no problem. We're sorry that you're having an issue with it. And I really respected the way that they treated me as a customer. Unfortunately, because of all the other bad reviews that I've read, and some of them have recorded videos and put them on Amazon, these are some things that they got to work out. And sometimes companies need to do more testing on their product before they send it to market, because it can really hurt your company's reputation when something doesn't work out like this. But I do think that they're going to work out these bugs, and when they come out with an MT3, I may just give that a shot, because I think that all of these issues will be worked out. I do think that these are the particular problems that they're having. One, I think they need maybe a little better quality control on their manufacturing process. I think something might be lacking there. Maybe they're assembling them too quickly. Maybe they're not being thorough enough on their inspection. So, and I'm not judging them, I'm just saying that might be one of the problems given the bad reviews that they've been getting. And I know that I'm not the only person that has had this issue. Sorry, I just touched the microphone. And the other issue is that, I think they needed to do more testing on the product before they took it to market. I think maybe they felt a little pressure to get it to market before Christmas. And this is the consequence of that. I do think that they're going to work out these bugs, though. I'm not going to order the M6 or another MT2 because I just don't feel, I've lost confidence in both of these. So I do wish Hohem the best of prosperity. I certainly hope that they've worked out the bugs in the future. If they put stronger motors in the gimbal, the MT2 gimbal, which I do think it probably needs, because if they're having overheating issues in the motors, that's usually because the motors are overworking, One bit of advice I would give any gimbal manufacturer, not just Hohem, but DJI and the rest of them, is to make a gimbal that can self-balance. So instead of relying on a person to balance a gimbal and balance them properly, because I did watch a video on how to balance it properly so that I would be, I didn't want to do anything bad to my gimbal. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't over, abusing it or anything like that. But a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people won't watch a video and make sure that they're doing things like that properly, especially when it comes to electronics. They just want to put stuff on it and expect it to work. And if you really want to have something that's really plug and play, where you can just, do that, then you need a gimbal that either has such strong motors that the balancing isn't necessary, and maybe that's one solution, or have a self-balancing gimbal. In other words, those adjustments that we're making manually, have them so that maybe there's little drive motors in there, like little geared motors that balance the gimbal. You put on whatever you're putting on, and then it figures it out for itself. That might be the next generation of gimbals. And plus, people tend to add things without thinking. For instance, put a lens cap on a camera, it changes the balance of the gimbal. The gimbal can adjust for that, instead of it, working harder or straining the motors. Putting extra microphones on there, or adding connectors, or maybe a light, and forgetting, hey, I forgot that I have to rebalance it. That sort of thing is something that people do. I've even seen videos where guys have said, well, yeah, I added this camera or this light on the top of my camera, and the gimbal didn't mind that. In other words, he admitted that he didn't rebalance it after adding that accessory. So, because we might change accessories on cameras, we might add things or take away things, because even if you take something off, you're going to say, well, do I really want to go through that, and then you'd have to rebalance it again. So, yes, after a while you can balance it in about 30 seconds, but having it so that it does it by itself, it is a possibility. You could add a little tiny motor at the back with a little gear that would make the shafts go back and forth, and you could have it so that it literally will balance itself. And the other issue was on the M6, on one of the videos, was the lock mechanism. When you're locking the different arms for your balancing, one of them would not lock. So I seen that video as well. And these are things that can happen. I'm not going to beat up Hohem for having these issues. When you're manufacturing hundreds or thousands of an item, especially an electronic item, and things are going through an assembly line, problems like this are going to happen. And but having these things more automated may reduce problems in the future, because there's also the element of the consumer having to be educated in how to use your product. And the less you have to educate them in using it, the better it is. Case in point, this DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I do not have to balance the gimbal. It's all a complete unit. Everything is all in one. You flip the little flippy screen, you just hit record, and you're good to go. There is an issue with this that other guys have described, is that they didn't think of one thing when they made this, is that if you have the wide angle lens adapter filter on it, if you have any filters on it and you turn it off, the lens will tuck itself in to protect itself. And when you have those items on there, it can't do that. There's not enough clearance between the face of the lens and the arm. So what it does is it hits it, and then it just knows, hey, we're not going to keep trying to tuck this away, and then it goes back the other way. But then your screen on it is unprotected. Now, a lot of people that take this DJI Pocket 3 out into the sun or whatever, they're going to use ND filters. They're going to use the black mist filter. They're going to use all these things, and it won't fully tuck itself away in that safe position having those on there. So even DJI overlooked this, or they either overlooked it or they ignored it, or they said, yeah, maybe they couldn't do anything about it. But it is kind of a design flaw with this unit. So, you know, and I don't know if that affects the gimbal in a negative way when it's trying to, you know, almost tuck itself and then having to go back. You know, they haven't really said. But I think that the Osmo Pocket 4, when it comes out, it would not surprise me if they fix that problem and have it so that even if it has a filter on there, that it can still have the clearance to flip around and tuck itself into its storage position when it's done. So these are things that manufacturers have to deal with. There's a lot of pressure for them to get these things out for Christmas and other times of the year, you know, but usually the CES, Consumer Electronics Show, they like to bring out new products, but Christmas time is big too. And both of these guys really push to have their products out around the same time. There's a lot of competition, but there's consequences when you do this. But overall, I'd say the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 kind of won on this. You know, they have a product which, in my opinion, you know, everyone says it's a game changer. Well, I don't know if it's a game changer, but it's definitely a convenient product to use. And the fact that it has very fast download speeds, the mic with it, found out that it'll even link with the Action 4, the GoPro style action camera. It'll link with that. I may get that because I have a GoPro, but it doesn't have the ability to have a wireless microphone. And being as I already have one, it might be nice because this unit is not waterproof. So taking it out in bad weather is not an option. Anyways, that's what I've got to say about the Hohem MT2 Gimbal. And if you own one, you may want to keep an eye on that, especially if you're, you know, with warranties and things like that. If you're thinking about getting one and there's an extended warranty available, I would recommend that. If you are experiencing any kind of weird, you know, if it's acting weird or anything like that, then you may want to, you know, contact customer support. And again, they have very good customer support. So, you know, I wish Hohem all the best. If they were to ever send me any of their products, I would take a look at them. But I buy a lot of these products with my own money. And I bought this with my own money. So this is an honest review of that product. And it is kind of sad because I was sad to see it go. So, you know, good product, but it failed. And unfortunately, sometimes that's all it takes. When you come out with the MT3, I can't wait to see that one. May try that one out. All right, so good luck, Hohem. And I hope this helps a lot of my viewers if they're thinking about buying that gimbal or they've already bought it. keep an eye on it, even the M6. And, you know, it may not be as durable as we originally thought, or there could be a design issue in there. So, and these things happen. All right. So take care, be safe at work, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye.